Let's talk about grouping items together. If we sell a group of items on a regular basis, it may be a good idea for you to group them so that it's easier to process an invoice. Let's demonstrate this by coming under Customers and come down to Create Invoices. Our customer, Bob Crenshaw, is ordering a fountain from us. When someone orders a fountain, we have several things to list on the invoice. First, we come down here and we come into our list, and first is a pump, one pump. Next, we come down and we have concrete, and concrete is a fixed dollar amount of $250 per fountain. Next, we come down to the actual fountain. One fountain. We come down further and we include a fish pond. This is our specialty fountain that includes the fish pond. One of these, and we always quote this price at $250 as well. And finally, we need some pipes. And the pipes we use are the same ones we use for our sprinkler systems. And quantity, these are based on per foot. And so we estimate that for his job we're going to need 50 feet of our sprinkler piping. Now, this business is really booming for us and we're selling a lot of these. Wouldn't it be easier if we had all these items in a group so that we could easily process an invoice? Let's demonstrate how we do this. We're going to close this one without saving it. Let's come here under Lists and let's come down to Item List. Let's come down here and let's click on New. And let's set up a group called our Specialty Fountain. Specialty Fountain, including a fish pond. Now, let's bring on all the items. Here's our pump. Here are our sprinkler heads. Sprinkler pipes. Here are the concrete. Let's go down and get the fountain. And finally, let's get the fish pond. Now, let's tell QuickBooks how many of each. The second one is an estimate, so we're going to estimate that on each invoice we process. Same with concrete, one fountain and one fish pond. Now click OK. And now we have a group called Specialty Fountain. Let's come in here and now let's create the invoice for Mr. Crenshaw using this new group. Let's come down here to Specialty Fountain. Now you can see QuickBooks brings in all the items for us automatically. Now we simply come in here for each fountain and deal with a couple of lines, because for each fountain we have to estimate two things in here, the amount of concrete and the amount of piping. So now we can estimate his 50 feet of piping, and we can come in here and say $250 worth of concrete for this specialty fountain. Now let's preview the invoice. Print and preview. Let's zoom in here on the line items. specialty found including fish pond. It shows up as one line item on the invoice with the total price here. We can print the components. Let's go look and see how we can do that. Once again, let's close this one without saving it. Let's come back into our list, item list, and let's come down to our specialty fountain, double click on it, and let's check this little box right here, print items in group. This way the individual items will print on the invoice. Let's click OK, and let's go process this invoice to Mr. Crenshaw one last time. Bob Crenshaw, come down here and let's pull in our specialty fountain. Let's put in our 50 feet of pipe and $250 of concrete. Now let's preview it. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Now you can see the individual items print on the invoice with our same total here, $737.50. Grouping items is a very valuable tool to utilize in QuickBooks.